A very good morning and good evening to all the participants. We're going to start today's session. Today I'm going to explain advanced availability to promise. So we'll focus on advanced availability to promise in today's session. In SAP S4HANA, supply chain management, we have two solution capabilities. One is known as business planning. The second one is logistics order fulfillment. In S4HANA, in the 1610 release, introduce the advanced availability to promise. With new functionalities to better execute order fulfillment and to improve the supply chain process. Currently, SAP has three primary product availability check solutions are there. One is product availability checks. Product availability check in SAP ERP. The second one, product availability check in ERP in combination with global availability promise. This is the part of SAP Advanced Planning and Optimization, APO. In SAP S4HANA, SAP S4HANA for Advanced ATP. In addition to the basic ATP, all three solutions also provide advanced availability check features, product allocation, back order processing. So the allocation is a mechanism, custom and first serve. Mainly in the order management. The back order processing, re-ATP process to confirm high priority order and low priority orders. Both product allocation and backorder processing are available in product availability check in ERP, product availability check in ERP, and also in the advanced ATP in S4HANA. Global availability to promise. It has very advanced features for product allocation and for backorder processing. And it is used with SAP ERP. Advanced availability to promise has an entirely new design for both product allocation and backorder processing. And also in SAP Fury apps. The production allocation, backorder processing is advanced ATP. It is one of the product availability to check. Product availability check is one of the key business functions of order to cash process. In a typical supply chain scenario, is one of the key business functions of order to cash. It checks whether the requested material is available in the required quantity on the requested date for that specific requirement. We have three product availability check methods available in the advanced ATP. And available to promise, the second one is product allocation, the third one is rule-based ATP. We can check available to promise with replenishment, with replacement lead time and without replacement lead time. Availability to promise is checked based on the availability to stock and planned receipt and the planned requirements. If ATP also considers the replenishment lead time, then the order is confirmed after the or the planned delivery time. For example, there are 100 total pieces of stock for a product, but 80 pieces have already been committed to other sales orders or internal production. In that situation, the ATP quantity is only 20 pieces, which can be promised with a new sales order or with a new requirement. Order to promise needs to consider other business parameters in addition to ATP quantity. Suppose a sales order comes from an ordinary customer for 20 pieces. When the ATP quantity is 20, then the order will be confirmed. Now, the ATP quantity becomes 0. If another sales order is received for the same product, then the sales order cannot be promised or confirmed. If this customer is a premium customer offering the high price with good payment terms, then it may be the most strategic to prioritize the sales order from premium customer over that of ordinary customer. Now let's see the difference between S4HANA, Advanced ATP, and SAP ERP availability to promise. In the traditional SAP ECC system, it is simple to use and implement. But it has this limited functionality. In the SAP ERP plus GATP, it is complex to use. It offers the advanced functionality. In SAP S4HANA, advanced availability to promise is introduced. Which is very simple to use and implement. And it also offers advanced functionalities. In the traditional SAP ERP system, conventional availability to promise is the order fulfillment that is designed to provide a commitment to the customer requested and date based on availability of the product. Now in SAP S4HANA, advanced availability to promise is introduced in the release of 16.10 version. The availability check ensures that there are enough components available for planned or production order the increased complexity of the model. In today's digital world, where more complex mechanisms are necessary for variable demands, and varied production and multiple stock localization. It is led to the fact that SAP conventional ATP can be insufficient. With all these changes, in the new S4 HANA, efficiently and effectiveness, SAP has developed advanced availability to promise, which other than the challenge of working in a dynamic way. Now let me show you advanced available to promise, which is newly released in SAP S4 HANA. Now let's log into SAP Logon. 1709 edition. Enter the user ID and password. W capital welcome 123. Click enter. Enter SPRO. Click enter. Click on SAP reference IMG. Here expand cross application components. So here we can see advanced availability to promise, expand. If we see in ECC, availability to check is under sales and distribution. Let me show you in ECC also. Enter the user ID is best. The password is welcome123 and click enter. Enter SPRO. Click on SAP reference IMG. In SAP ECC, we have availability to check, sales and distribution, and production. Expand the basic functions. Here we can see the availability to check under sales and distribution. Expand. So like this we have availability to check for every module. But in S4 HANA, advanced ATP is introduced as a new component. We can see under cross application components. In SAP S4 HANA, we have to define and schedule line category. So these are the few basic configurations we have to perform to activate advanced ATP. Let's go back to S4 HANA IMG screen. Expand product availability to check. So here you see the defined checking groups. Click execute. Here we can activate advanced ATP for the required availability to check. Here we have to check. Here we are considering W3 as activated. If you want to activate new availability check, select active here. Here we are activating advanced ATP, select active, and then click on save. Click continue. And here you can see the data was saved. These checking groups also can be set as a default of the material types at the plant level. Once we define the checking groups, let us go back. Next, the basic configuration is define the checking rules. Expand the production. Expand the shop floor control. Expand operation. Here we see the availability to check. Under availability check, we see define checking rules. The checking rules for production can be created, but for the sales order and delivery, the checking rules is redefined on the system. Click execute. So here you can see the checking rule is predefined for sale order and delivery. These are the standard checking rules predefined by the system. That is A for sales order, B for delivery, C for goods issue. If you want to create new checking rules, and then you can click on new entries, then you can create your own checking rules for the production. Once we check the checking rules, let's go back. Expand the cross application components. Expand advanced availability to promise. Under this, carry out control for availability to check. Click on the position, enter W3, enter. Here we see W3 select W3 availability check and click on details. Here we can see availability check W3 advanced ATP, and here we can see the checking rule 01. It includes the safety stock, safety stock will be defined in the material master, will be included in the availability to stock. Based on our requirement, we select these checkboxes. Next, we define requirement types and schedule line categories. Now go back again. Availability to check for requirement and schedule line category must be activated to the availability to check sales order. Now let us expand the sales and distribution. To activate the availability check for requirement type, based on the requirement, here we need to expand the availability check and transfer requirements, expand transfer of requirements. Here execute, click execute. So here you see requirement classes. Select requirement class and click on details. Availability check is enabled or not. The availability to check requirement class in the schedule line category